Welcome back, Portugal Junkies.
Hello and good morning.
We have a big episode for you today.
Yeah.
It's all about the renewal process of a temporary residency visa here that we just went through. And we thought it would be helpful for those who are coming up on this, those who are a little nervous about it, all the things, because we were too.
Yeah. And again, this is just for a D7.
Yes. Let's set the
Specified.
parameters.
Yeah.
This is for a D7 visa only, although I do not think the D8 will be much different. We can come back to that. Most everything other than submitting your financials is going to be pretty much the same.
Pretty much, I would think.
So, I did do a Substack mini guide article on this, so if you would rather see it in written format, please feel free to hop over to our Substack, portugaljunkies.substack.com.
Yep.
And you can save it and just refer back to it later. But I will also give a disclaimer. This is how it was when we actually did this in spring 2026. Okay, we all know how things change pretty quickly around here, so just be aware.
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to be, if there are any changes, how massive they are or to what
things.
section. Right. So again, it's doing your own homework and making sure that you're
double checking,
doing everything according to you and according to what it's asking at the time.
Right.
Don't just follow blindly into the dark.
But it gives you a good overview.
Because AIMA is dark.
They're getting better.
They are. Yeah, I'll give them that.
We did get a notice this week that there were over 1 million backlogged applications at one point with AIMA, which is nuts when you think about it. And that's not just for like D7, whatever. It could be all in, for everything. But there are only 30,000 left. And Mark goes, God, 30,000. And I'm like, yeah, but there were 1 million. So it's all in how you are looking at it. I believe that I have seen a lot of positive things lately.
Yeah, I think you see far less negative comments.
Yeah, I feel like people
Facebook
are getting their
forums.
visas faster.
Yeah.
I feel like we had a very smooth experience, which you'll hear about right now with our renewal. And, I feel like many of us who have experienced the immigration process and the bureaucracy, we hold our breath because we don't know how that's going to be. And then it becomes this lovely experience when it's not all those negative things that you anticipate.
It's shocking because, that was easier than I thought. And it shouldn't have been. Should it? Have I
done something wrong?
Right.
Why is that too easy?
How is that so easy?
Now, again, I know this is not for everybody.
No.
So that's our intro of like what we plan to share with you in this
fine
episode.
morning.
This fine morning.
Yes.
So let's get into it.
Okay. So on the basis that you did like 99.1000% of it, I took a back seat. Why don't you explain the timeline to start with, and get some idea of what's what.
Okay. So let's talk through the timeline from the beginning, real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
So we applied at VFS in the DC office September 2023. We then got our visas like right at 90 days back then,
On
and
the 90th day.
that felt very long and strenuous. I look back now and go, whatever. But it was like we were waiting and waiting. So we got our approvals in December.
Yep.
We had been in Portugal, staying in our apartment for a little while. So we came back to the U.S., retrieved sent our passports off to be stamped with our visa at the time. We received those back, and we returned with the dog in January 2024.
Yep. Now, it's interesting, important to say that when we got the visas back, we already had our
AIMA follow-up appointment.
Yeah, so
we were
printed.
We were part of the lucky crew that had the URL that had already booked the AIMA appointments for us, albeit on the same day at the same time in completely different places. So that's not unheard of either.
Right. Go with it.
And then our appointments were actually set for mid-February. So it was less than a month. Well, no. We got our approvals in December. So within 2 months, the date for our AMA appointments were set up. That is not how I'm hearing is happening right now, that I feel like the AMA appointments might or might not come with your visa initially, but it's also not usually within 60 days.
Right.
So again, our perspective from 2.5 years ago. We went to our AMA appointments. We got our TRC cards in the mail like 7-8 days later.
Yeah, you got yours in 7 or 8. Mine was maybe 3 weeks.
Something like that. It was
nothing mad.
Right. Within the month, we both had our cards in hand. And that's where we've been until this process started.
Of the renewal.
And our renewal was for February 2026, because the first visa gave us a 2-year time frame, which is how it is now. So we're renewing in spring 2026 for a 3-year extension of our residency visa. So that's the setup. That's the timeline. That's our experience so far. I'm going to give a disclaimer here. The group prior to us, I would say, like, anybody who applied 6 months before us and anybody who applied like 6 months after us seems to be running into issues that we didn't have.
It's like the sort of the pre-July was having significant issues with all sorts of stuff.
And then we know people who came like within a year of us who have had struggles still getting their AMA appointments. So I put that out there to make sure that I'm balanced in what I'm sharing, because
it's so important.
I know our experience has been a little bit golden, and I am not going to complain about it, but I also I'm going to recognize it and say that this is how it should be for you. But we recognize that there are groups of people both before and after us who have struggled with this whole process and continue to. But I will say, I'm going to say it again, I really do believe that things are changing and improving with AMA, and the backlog is definitely been worked through. A lot of it has been worked through, and I also feel like because of my work with She Thrives Abroad and helping people actually move over here and working with immigration attorneys, I'm seeing when they're getting their appointments. I'm seeing how fast their visas are turning around, and so I feel like there's good things on the horizon.
Movement on that side of it.
I'm also a very typically positive person.
Yes.
So take that for what you will.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the timeline.
Perfect. Okay. So
that's the setup.
That's the setup. That's what we experience. That's generally how the start or the setups work. Okay. So we're now back in February of 26.
Yep.
And we're getting everything together. So
yes.
What do you do? How does it work?
Right.
Just try and sort of do a walkthrough.
Okay. So we were unsure leading up to our renewal and our expiration date of how we were supposed to actually process our renewal. Yep. People before us were having to set up an appointment in person and go and take their documents just like the first time and the second time with your follow-up AMA appointment, all the things. But by the time we had to renew, there was an online renewal portal in place. And so we were very fortunate that by the time, and this is how it exists today, so anybody who is going to be renewing should have this same process, in that you are logging on to a renewal portal on the AMA website, you are uploading your documents, and you are paying the fee right online, and then you're waiting for approval. There is I would say an asterisk to this, that right after we applied, there was a notice from AMA that said, hey, you may be required to come in person.
Yes.
After you submit your documents. Yeah. Now, it was not like everybody has to come. It's when needed, which I don't know what that means. But when needed, when they determine if they need something different from you for whatever reason, they reserve the right to call you in, in person to an appointment to verify something or whatever. Okay, so that does exist.
Yep.
Didn't happen to us, but it does exist.
Okay. So going through that, how do you know what you've got to submit and gather that information?
So there is a list of documents on IMA.
On the portal that you're in?
Well, yes.
Okay.
So yes, that's the easiest way, honestly. But this is why I made the guide, because then you'll know ahead of time. So when you log in and you get ready, like you're at the point of submitting documents, you're going to see 9 or 10 very distinct categories of named of what they're expecting you to upload.
Right.
So we'll go through those, each one, just so that you can anticipate what you're going to need.
Perfect.
But even pre-documents, I think there's some things that are important to know, because we ran into, and we're literally, I'm very type A when it comes to our immigration stuff, because I know that we've been caught on the back foot sometimes, and just like normal, we were caught on the back foot with this process too, because we didn't know that we needed certain things that were different from our first go-round of paperwork. So I'll give you an example. In order to start the process online on the renewal portal, you need to make sure that you have a proper login, and right, like, so if you could do that today, whether you're close to your renewal or not, make sure that you have your account online set up and you can log in. Second is you have to have a NIS. It's required before you even get started to pay the fee, to upload anything, to access anything, is your NIS. And here's the problem. There's going to be a group of you, if you're like us, where we came here on a D7, which is a passive income, not working type of visa, which means at the time we never were required to get a NIS because it's related to work, Social Security, that kind of thing. Well, when we started this renewal process, we realized we need a NIS. And AMA was saying we need it, and then the people who can actually give it to you
say you don't need it because you don't have a contract.
Right. You can't prove to me why you need a NIS. Why would I give you a NIS?
Right.
So then they established 12 Loja de Cidade, which is basically citizen shop locations that can serve for this particular issue. So we found there's a list of 12 of them, I will link it, that can do this now. This may have changed now, but it was in February. You have to have your NIS. A D7 didn't originally come with it. I think now, when you apply for a D7, the NIS is part of the process. But there's going to be a group of us
sitting in between
there that is separate. So anyway, we had to go get our NIS before we could even know that we could log in really into the portal or get started in the portal.
But the one thing I will say about the NIS, just to sort of round that, is when we got to the right place,
it was so nice and easy.
A breeze.
It was not a difficult process.
She was superb, very helpful.
Shout out to, I think her name was Ana Maria in Oliao. Anyway, my point is, this may or may not apply to you, but just be aware that if you don't have your NIS, you should probably go ahead and work on getting that, even if you're not close to your renewal.
Here's the thing. Most people I know would move abroad tomorrow if someone put those steps in front of them and helped them execute it. That's exactly what I do now with She Thrives Abroad as a Move Abroad coach. Our coaching program helps you decide where is best for you to move based on your biggest priorities, and then we create a clear roadmap that is customized specifically for you, your family, and your situation. We also offer something that is so cool and so important here, and that's the job search. We've doubled down on our career resources to help clients find that job that will help them get moved or help them develop other income strategies to help them move abroad. So, if you want to move abroad within the next 9 to 12 months and have been considering Portugal, Spain, or the Netherlands, send me a DM on our Instagram at Portugal Junkies or email me at portugaljunkies@gmail.com.
If you haven't traveled in beautiful Portugal yet, what are you waiting for? You are missing out big time. Iconic beaches, delicious wine, centuries of history, and honestly, some of the most beautiful people that you will ever meet. Why do you think we moved here? So, when you're ready, we are ready to help you plan the most perfect customized Portugal itinerary just for you, and more importantly, how you like to travel. Family trip with the kiddos, lazy girl travel, history buffs, foodies, combinations of all of those, we got you. After exploring Portugal since 2022 and then immigrating here, we're really excited to build travel plans for you that help you see this gorgeous, special place by understanding the way that you like to travel. Book a free call with us right now on our Stan store at stan.store/PortugalJunkies, and we'll talk through your ideal trip and start planning your customized Portugal itinerary. You'll even get your final itinerary on an app to use during your trip for easy access right on your phone while you're here. Remember, adventure is a verb, y'all. We're excited to help you plan yours.
So, how do you know when to start?
The process.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay.
Like the renewal.
Ama loves to alert people of very official things on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
And their website. But if you haven't already set up notifications for the official AMA Facebook page, I would do that. And even maybe a Google alert for anything that's happening on the AMA website. Because they're gonna post there, and they usually, like right now, if you go on the AMA site, they'll have a posting up that says, I think it's September and October renewals, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Can go in and start the process now. So we were anticipating, we when we started, it was January. They let us know that February was open. Now we're sitting here in June, and they're open for September and October. Yeah. So again, very positive things that this online and more automated process is working.
Yeah.
So
catching up with the times.
That's where you have to keep an eye out and be like, okay, well, when's my renewal?
Yeah. But again, this is part and parcel of taking responsibility for your situation.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to own it because nobody else is going to. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so that's when you renew. And like I said, you go on, make sure your online account is set up. You're going to put in your NIS. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then a day or two later, it's going to say, hey, you need to pay your fee. And you can go back onto the website and pay the fee. I think we actually paid through, I can't remember now. It might have been through MBWay. It might have even been that they gave you an entity and reference number and you could pay it through your bank on the national pay options. I think you can actually pay it at an ATM that way as well.
Right.
Once they receive payment and they process the payment, that is when the portal opens up and it will show you your categories of documents.
It's like utopia in front of you.
Well, and then it's oh, by the way, have your shit ready because you need to upload this stuff within 10 days.
Yeah.
10 business days. So that was a surprise. So I'm here to share that with you now so that you know, don't pay until you're ready and you've got your documents.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Do you know what the fee was?
I want to say it was 180 per person, 180-ish euros per person, something like that.
Okay. And so when you get started and doing all the preparations, everything else, what are the sort of things that they're looking at?
Okay, so let's get into the
Because the next step, sort of going into, you're into the portal, you've got all of this. Next step, you've paid your money, you've got the right of passage to move forward on the Monopoly board.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Okay. There are, depending on your NIS, I believe, is where the categories will open up.
Okay.
I think that they can tell if you have a dependent, things like that might open up. Now, when we did it, there were certain categories that opened up that did not apply to us. And so be aware of that. It's okay. I'm going to take you through each category of document. And then we can talk about ones that may or may not be applying to most people and what to do about that. So before we talk about the actual documentation, I think that's going to probably need to be its own next podcast.
Yeah, I think that would be much easier because then you can just dive into that specific piece without all the...
There's 8 to 10 categories that might show up when you actually pay and log in and can see what they're asking you for. But there are some tips that I feel like are valuable here before we even get into the documents.
Okay, so what are the top tips?
The top tips are... Do not try to use the renewal portal with AMA on translate mode.
Why?
For whatever for whatever reason,
okay,
it causes functionality issues and it will drive you crazy. So you're just going to have to work on Portuguese mode. And this is why in our mini guide on Substack you'll see the Portuguese requirement document, and then I'll tell you in English what that actually means. Okay, so that's one thing I ran into that almost made me jump off a cliff but I didn't realize that was what it was until I was like, oh, I logged in once and didn't translate anything or didn't move it over to English, and it worked fine. Okay. And that happens with a lot of Portuguese sites.
That's not just AMA.
Right.
That's quite
So
common.
Top tip.
What's
another tip?
PDFs.
Oh, okay. So each category that's going to come up gives you the option to upload one PDF for all of what you're going to share. So let's think like you, as an example, your financial means or whatever. You might need to show multiple documents, but they all need to be one PDF under
a certain size.
Certain size. Okay, so again, I'm telling you all of this stuff up front because you can prepare before you even pay and are ready to go. Like you can know the size of your documents. You can put them all together. There is some work involved with getting them in a format where you just upload. Like the actual upload you can do in a minute and hit submit. It's all the preparation and making sure that like your documents are, think about them in little packets. Each packet is its own PDF and you're going to upload one packet for each category. Yeah. That's what I would recommend.
And I think, if I remember rightly, you only get one chance to upload it.
No.
No? No. I thought you had...
No, you can replace it.
Oh.
You can do that, but you just don't hit submit.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. You can go in and log in and change your documents all you want. Just don't submit. Because once it's submitted, you're done.
Right, that's maybe what I was thinking.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Perfect.
But that's a good note that I didn't have written down.
Yeah, just, again, it's...
Yeah.
Preparation is key. Yeah. And just take your time, get a cup of tea, get a glass of wine, whatever, and just go through it. Just walk yourself through it and have somebody else walk behind you with it.
Yeah. You know? Well, and I think, too, like, if you know, I would say give yourself a month prior to just not be rushed to do this. Be thoughtful about what you're submitting, and honestly be thoughtful about what they're going to be looking for, you know, and we can talk about that as each document in the next podcast, but you got to look at it from their perspective. They don't know you, and they really, like, I'm not trying to say it negatively, but they don't have any skin in the game of whether they approve you or not. You are having to prove to them that everything that they've asked for you can provide, and that makes them comfortable to say, you know, yes, we would like you to stay, and also we know that you're not going to be any kind of like financial burden, right? Like that's ultimately what they're trying to figure out and make sure of.
Yep.
What other tips? When there are certain categories that do not apply to you, I would still like upload a PDF that says not applicable. I will also say that make sure that when you're uploading things that they're in Portuguese. Like, use your tools. If you can't write it yourself in Portuguese, which I cannot, you know, you are presenting things to them in Portuguese because we're submitting for a Portuguese visa. So that's important as well.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Probably about it.
I think those are the tips that I noted when I went through the process of like, I wish somebody had told me this before, but I mean, it didn't impede anything, so that's okay. I mean, I think ultimately we applied and submitted ours February, like mid-February, and we had our cards when we got back from Italy, or a note in our mailbox
to say, we
to
tried
go
to
get
deliver.
them.
Come get.
So within 3 months, we had our cards in hand.
Yep.
I think that's nothing to sneeze at. That is like an amazing turnaround, in my opinion.
Safe feelings, all the rest of it. I mean, honestly, it's also the very first time I've had a TRC that is completely up to date.
Right,
all my
with
other
the right
TRC, it was always wrong.
Right.
So, anyway.
So, to me, that's the intro of like how the process worked for us.
Yeah.
And now I think the best thing to do is come back, have a follow-up podcast about the actual documents that and what we submitted and why.
Okay.
And go from there.
Okay, let's do it.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Cheers, y'all.
See you later.
See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
For more content about our move, the visa process, Portuguese culture and destinations, and tons of support resources for your own decisions and potential move abroad, follow us at Substack, TikTok, and Instagram at Portugal Junkies.
Stay in touch and help us reach more people by subscribing here and following us there.
Cheers, y'all!